What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 51 now.
Yep.
Big Salinas Barbecue. Sorry, damn, let's go with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy Salinas, joined by my brother Junior Salinas, and then of course we do want to give some prayers out to our brother Chris Bustos. If y'all don't know, he has been in the hospital for like the past week or so. So definitely prayers out to him. General kind of elaborate on an event that his work's put in for him on his small business shout out. But we just want to give some prayers out to Chris. So definitely get well soon. But yeah, we got a good fun episode. This is our Christmas Day special. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Of course, thank you to our sponsors, which are Holy Smoke Spice Company, Brothers Keepers Barbecue, Prairie Fresh, Mad Cow Cutlery, and Meat Hugger. So be sure to check them out on all their social media sites and give their products a try. Like I said, without further ado, let's get this party started.
Hey, let's do it. Yes, for sure. Definitely prayers out to him and his family. Um, Hopefully, he is on the road to recovery. Last week, we had a great, fun episode. We're talking things, Christmas ideas, through some inside the pit questions, of course, like always. But like I said, just overall great episode. Let's get into it as we talk traditions. We're going to talk a little bit of barbecue and a little bit of everything else Christmas related that we like to talk about. But let's dive right into it here. I've got a small business shout out, and like I said, it is pertained to Chris Bustos here at his job, Look Cinemas. He works for a movie theater, and he was taking time off for some surgery, and thought he was on the road to recovery, got an infection, had to kind of take a couple steps back, but is working on getting back. His company, like I said, Look Cinema, is doing a movie night on December 21st. That's next Wednesday from 7 to 10. They're going to be showing Pulp Fiction. Go to this event, order. You can eat there. It's a dine-in place. It used to be a studio movie grill out there on 10110 Technology Boulevard East, right there in Dallas. Go check it out. They'll be watching Pulp Fiction on the big screen, and the money donated and raised for this will go to Chris and help him with his medical bills, help him with his money in general, because he was working. They can only give you so much time off, so he's going to do a lot of it without getting paid. So this will definitely help ease that burden and let him recover as well. Again, Look Cinema is the thing. Movie night for the fundraiser for him. They'll be watching the movie Pulp Fiction. You'll see it on our social media, so we do a good job to do it. It is next Wednesday, the 21st of December at 7 p.m. So go check it out. What's your small business shout out?
Yeah, and certainly, yeah, they did say if you just want to buy a ticket or you want to donate, we'll have the links down below for you to go buy a ticket. If you just want to buy a ticket just to support that way, or if you want to donate some money to his little fundraiser that his girlfriend put on, we'll have the links down below. My small business shout out is Blazing Bones. He was on one of our very first episodes. Um, he's got some amazing products. Lots of different rubs. So definitely check his stuff out. That's Blazing Bones. You can go to blazingbones.com. If you're driving by uh, the Texan store, it's kind of like a Bucky's type deal. The Texan, he's got all his rubs now in there. He's got some rubs in HEB as well down in Houston. So be sure to check out Blazing Bones. Like again, he's got some amazing uh, barbecue rubs. Just name some of them. Like he's got a peachy heat. So if you want some peach flavor, definitely give that one a try. He's got a lemon pepper that our dad loves. So definitely check him out. Again, blazingbones.com. That's my small business shout out. Um, let's see, what have we been up to lately? Because I know that's going to be the next topic. Again, just been cooking briskets for the Texas brisket uh, lady. So she's got a big order for Central Market. So we've just been cooking up briskets for her every week. And then now we're going to be getting ready for Christmas orders. So with the that fundraiser or his work, I won't be able to be there because I'm gonna come home Wednesday night after work and start prepping for a cook on Thursday, and then begin doing it again on Friday. And I'm gonna get done with Friday, get some rest, and then cook for Saturday for some customers. So it's gonna be a busy 3 or 4 days for Christmas orders. But hey, I love every minute of it. So definitely keep those orders coming. You know, I don't mind losing sleep to cook. Definitely don't.
No, that's a
Yeah.
good way to lose some sleep for sure. Definitely, like I said, that's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, I do not think we want to go. That was something we had talked about, Chelsea and I, but don't think I'm going to be able to go. They have moved. I'm now taking on partial role of running the soundboard at the church I go to. So they want me to run it for Christmas Eve. Things that they're going to do rehearsal potentially that night. They may move it to Friday night, which I kind of hope they do, so I can. Or sorry, yeah, the 22nd, which would be Thursday, so I can go to that night, and then that way I can make a go out there and support Chris out there. But if not, I may just end up buying a ticket and
Yeah, I
just
think
buy
that's what
a
we're
ticket
gonna
to
do.
do
Just buy a ticket.
just buy it or may donate some money to the other fundraiser for it. But yeah, and that's what it is. I've actually, as we speak here, as we tape this Wednesday the 14th, I've got a rack of ribs on the Weber kettle that we're doing, trying a different way. It was time to wrap. I wrapped it this time in some butcher paper. I want to see what the difference is. People say there's no real difference. Still kind of did the same method that we usually do with our ribs once we wrap it. Now I've got the meat side down. So just letting it cook now and see what happens and get it done. And it'll be a good spot once we're done with this to munch on some ribs. So, but that's
Yep.
all I've been up to other than that, just trying to cook, trying to get things done. I know the orders you had mentioned it. Definitely get those orders in. There's nothing we like better than to deliver, especially on Christmas Eve or Christmas. To get those there because I know we do not do traditional at all in our family. They will probably do traditional on Chelsea's side of the family, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of there's brisket orders. It's a couple hams, sausage. Uh, so it's a whole lot of cooking. And then of course pork butts. So someone's wanting a couple pork butts on Thursday. So that's why I'm gonna, like I said, come home and start prepping that to cook, so I can deliver that early enough to get some rest, and then cooking the briskets on Friday night because one of them wants it on Friday, and then going to be doing that, and then turning around and cooking hams, ribs, sausage on Saturday. So, like I said, just a whole lot of 3 days of cooking. Um, you know, just for customers. For us, I think the talk is pozole for Christmas Eve. Uh, and tamales. Again, I'm not sure, 100% sure. Stuff changes from day to day. Uh,
That it
but I
does.
know for sure tamales is on the menu. That much I do know. And of course, with us, I mean, we always kind of done different things. From menudo one year, pozole one year, sandwiches, pizza. It's been, you know, brisket. I think we did it one year. So
We
it's kind
did.
of, yeah. It's been all we've been all over the place. We're not very traditional.
No, not
Tradition
not
is Thanksgiving.
tradition Thanksgiving. We have gone the turkey route and stuff. She wanted to do a traditional one. Very rare that we do that though. It's
Yep.
just because nobody really wants to sit out there and cook that much food. So we do a lot of a little cook, so that way we can get it done. But yeah, we have done a wide variety of Christmas things as far as the cook stuff. But let's dive into it because we will go into our best traditions, and we'll get into some other talk. Like I said, we've got a list out there that we've asked questions to, but let's dive into our segment inside the pit where we ask questions that go around the pit. to different groups about what is going on inside your pit. Today's question, we will start with Randy, and it can be a food or an accessory. But what is your go-to Christmas barbecue item? Very odd question, yes, I know,
Yeah,
but
your
what is
your
that?
questions are getting worse and worse.
Because
Yeah.
trying to not use the same one, trying to not. We had a long discussion. We were eating at with the Rosses at a Texas Roadhouse, and we had a discussion on how the steak should be cooked. Well, we've kind of talked about steak, and I didn't want to dive into it again this soon. So, but it is there. What is that go-to accessory that you got to have come Christmas time? Because hey, you look at it from here before you give your answer. Um, Greg, the barbecue broker, said it was his shovel because he wants to keep, he uses his shovel for, of course, different things he might run into with the offset with his uh, getting his coals ready or getting, adding wood or getting this and that. He said he uses it about every 30 minutes, and sometimes that shovel could be used to prep the station to get the snow and the ice off of where he's going to be cooking. So those
Yeah.
up north that get the snow and stuff, yeah, we don't get too much of it. It's supposed to be cold for Christmas, which is a difference, but we'll see. So um, then some said they like, they want to do they for their Christmas, he does a homemade pork loin ham. Uh, so he does that there for them. Some said a bunch of people said prime rib. That it seems to be the go-to uh, about it. And then he said some say he gets smoked tubes because they're on clearance at that time for Walmart,
Yep.
and he'll get other accessories and stuff as well from there. And then one said he likes his go-to thing. He has a pit barrel smoker. He just lights it up, maybe out there to keep it warm. He doesn't have a fire pit or something. That's one thing I should have asked for, but he may use that as his fire pit or something. What would be if you're cooking, like you're gonna cook for Christmas time? It's cold, it's whatever. What was that one thing you said I gotta have this out there?
If I'm cooking like food wise, uh, probably some kind of like steak brisket maybe. Can't really say prime rib because we never ate it or cooked it.
Never
Um,
cooked it.
so I'd probably say probably brisket to be honest. Um, food wise, like in general for Christmas, would probably be tamales. Um,
Ooh, yes.
and then barbecue accessory. I would definitely probably say yeah, I can understand where Greg's talking about his shovel. Um, I would probably say honestly like a towel. Because with me, cleaning uh, the table right there, where the smoker is, the table rack on it,
Yep.
cleaning it off when debris gets on there, using it to close the lid, open the lid, wipe your hands, stuff like that. That's basically what I use all the time when I'm cooking, because it saves time when it comes to cleanup, and then of course you can have one, to mess with the meat, to check it, without having to put on gloves. But if you have, a good pair of gloves, you can also go with that, Magnus Chef gloves if you got that as well. But yeah, I would say probably a towel.
I would say that, yeah. I mean, a towel's really good, like you said, a shovel because it is
Mm-hmm.
they're more up north. He may be getting snow on his pit right there, and he may want to get that away from it or clear stuff off. So I definitely would think it's a more that question's more of in your area, and I think that's probably why people were like, huh, on it. But it's understandable.
Yep.
Like you said, my questions I have to do some more research or more thought into it, which you know me. Um, I would say probably yeah, some gloves depending on the weather. Hey, maybe you want to have some gloves out there just to keep your hands warm because it can get cold. Definitely there. But to me, I think the go-to barbecue accessory, even if we did it year round, the go-to barbecue accessory is a good chair, man. You gotta have something good to sit in while you're waiting, drinking some beer, stuff like that. So that would be mine. And if you can get some shade in the summertime, especially here, then you
Yep.
go with that. But I would say, yeah, for sure. What would you, if you had, and you mentioned steak? That's the thing. I was thinking of that steak, cooking some steaks for it, but you mentioned Pasoli and stuff. How do you think, and your just thoughts here, how do you think tamales would come out if they were smoked? Do you think we could get it hot enough to even cook them?
You just have to get the water to boil and steam. Um,
I don't think you would get smoke in there, would you?
if you leave them uncovered, you will. If not, you're not gonna.
Not going to get
Um,
that smoke.
uh-uh. So
Now I
it
saw.
kind of depends on how you do it. Most people they're just gonna cook the meat on
Uh,
the smoke, like smoke the meat, and then do it that way. So it's still kind of the same thing.
I saw family in West Texas did some brisket tamales. I think that's something we need to try and do. But like you said, we don't know how to do it, so we'd have to convince you, mom, to to
Yeah,
make
she
them.
has she has done it before.
Has
Uh,
she? Have we
yeah, and
had it before?
it's come out good. It's just keeping the meat from drying out when it's being
Cooking.
steamed. Yeah, sometimes it can dry out. But what she did was put some barbecue sauce in there to kind of give it some kind of moisture in there. Uh, and like I said, yeah, they turned out pretty good. It wasn't, phenomenal. Like, oh my god, you got to make this all the time. But I mean,
Correct.
but she did that. I want to say probably a couple years ago. Uh,
Yeah, it would definitely be a challenge for sure because you're right. It is recooking that meat
mhm.
on it as well. But um, we'll see. Like I said, that's just some thoughts on it. We did our the accessories. We've asked that question. What was your must have accessories and stuff on TikToks and stuff? And we just wanted to dive in a little bit on the inside the pit. And of course, our tips for it, like we always say, be careful. Know your weather report before you start cooking. Like I was gonna do the ribs a different way, but I was like, maybe we'll hold off, do it tomorrow, and then we're like, it's supposed to be colder tomorrow and colder the next day, and be cold. I don't want to be out there in the cold. So this is a perfect chance, the perfect time to go ahead and do it and knock it out. So that's what I did. But I know
Don't be
your
a
weather report because we did have some weather, some storms, so you don't want to be out there cooking and you got some heavy rain or tornado potentially headed your way. So stay safe while you're out there as well. But you got any other tips or tricks? And then we
no,
can
yeah,
dive into
definitely
the next
stay
one.
uh, stay warm. Be careful in whatever you're cooking out. Um, if you're not sure on how to cook something, definitely just ask. And then of course, again, just always try different things and see, find out what you like. Because that's the way you're going to find out the techniques and the way you and your family enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. But yeah, uh, that's one thing I'd probably say um, on that. Um, any other questions? Barbecue questions?
Um, let me give you and let's give y'all a review. We the other day we went to a event, happened to be downtown Dallas, where we some nutcracker light show looking thing that was in a building down there, and it happened to be the same time the parade was going on, so there was no parking. We had to park 20 minutes away. It felt like found the parking, went there, and then we met up with Derek and Becca and some other people. And we went to Ferris Wheeler's, the barbecue joint down there in Dallas. It's been on several shows. It's gotten good reviews. Becca said she liked the food there, and that's what it was kind of for her birthday. This is where she wanted to go. We're going. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 5 overall. Sides were salty. We had some okra and some mac and cheese. The okra was salty, but good. Mac and cheese was good. The pickles were, they had a little, their food came with pickles, was good. They didn't have turkey. Said it was a nationwide shortage, but yet you can go into the stores and buy turkey. I wish places would just tell you we don't want to pay that price for the turkey
Yep.
and be honest with it. So we didn't get to try the turkey, and that's usually our staples when we go somewhere. We get brisket, turkey, and either ribs or pulled pork or something. Well, we got some ribs. The ribs were tender and good. They were good. We got 3 ribs. We ordered because they wouldn't let us for some reason order half a pound of brisket. They wanted us to order this special and should have stuck to my guns on what I was ordering. So we had to do that and had to order the pulled pork. The brisket, when we ordered just a quarter of a pound, which is what they want us to do, came out to be 1 slice of brisket. Was not a fan of it. It was okay. Not a fan. I didn't taste really any smoke in it. There was some flavor in it. Um, we went back and got some more brisket because your niece loves brisket. She loved it. She was tearing it up. So we went back and got a half a pound. This time we got 2 slices of brisket. So, and they weren't that thick. We've made them that thick before. I was like, I wish I had brought something to weigh it because I felt we were getting cheated. But
They didn't weigh it whenever you were there.
they brought it in the back and brought it to us. So they didn't hand you the tray and give it to you. You'd go sit down, and then 5 minutes later, somebody would bring you your tray. Like I said, it was a little concerning but I was like, okay, I'm getting full. Let me try. I like the fatty bark side of it, of the brisket. It had that's where it had some flavor, but the bark was not really bark. It was hard to describe it. Is I feel with the bark, you should be able to take your fingernail, kind of knock some of it off. You couldn't do that with this one. It almost felt like they had markered it up and made it look like bark. Their pulled pork, I'll be nice because we don't wish anybody harm. We don't wish anything. They could get some practice on it. They need some practice. Maybe you had to load it down with barbecue sauce or else it was dry. So super dry, which pulled pork can be. We've done it where if you've had to put things. So I was not a fan of that establishment, that variety of food that I got. And it could have just been maybe they had issues in the back or something, but go check it out. Ferris Wheelers. Tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please call me out on it. Say, hey, you got it on a bad day. You need to go when so and so is cooking, or you need to go order it from the back, not the inside. So whatever. But that was my review on it, and it was okay. Like I said, a 5 out of 10. If you wanted barbecue and you need it that way, go there. Just I would stay away from the pulled pork. Would be my one suggestion.
Yeah, I think
That's my.
he uses like 4 or 5 different wood combinations. I think like at least 3 or 4. I want to say it's like pecan, hickory, and post oak or something like that.
Wow, that's
So yeah, it's not a lot of smoke, and then what he cooks it on also doesn't produce a lot of smoke.
that could okay.
And that could be part of it. Now, when I cook the brisket, you don't really taste a lot of it because of the pecan. It's just a mild taste.
Yeah.
And I don't want to cook with, have a lot of smoke in there because if you have too much smoke, it's going to give you heartburn. That could
Facts.
be, some of it. But
The
yeah,
bark, though, is the questioning.
the bark, from what I can probably think of, is they may have cooked it without wrapping it, or they may have wrapped it towards the time that it's almost done. Because I know if you don't wrap it, then you get that kind of crunchy bark to where it doesn't come off at all.
Yeah.
Or some of it, like 90% of it, will stay on. Now, most of the time, like when you slice in a brisket, you should at least see some of it, come off. Some of it kind of move. Um, if you have too much heat on it, it may kind of char too much. Maybe. Yeah, I hadn't seen any kind of restaurant that has a part to where some of it don't come off.
And it was on the
Um,
fat part on top of that. Usually it
yeah,
doesn't stick too well to that. It was just a little question, like I said, it was still good. I ate it. Eden ate it. Chelsea ate it. They've got other food there. Somebody had a baked potato. It was a huge baked potato. They loved it. You know, Derek and them had some other. They had wings or stuff, so they offered wide variety of it. But we went in there, and that's what Chelsea and I do: is we order those things usually, and to kind of those are I feel the staples. You need to do those good
yeah,
if you're going to be good at it. But like I said, it what maybe I said we could have caught it on a bad day. They could have been having issues. Maybe it was a different cook, somebody trying it out because they've been slow. Who knows? But I could give it
yeah,
another shot. But like you said, for sure, like we said, we always try it twice. So if we're ever in the neighborhood, maybe we'll give it a shot, and we'll come back with another review.
yeah, yeah. Now,
Sure.
speaking of barbecue, yeah, I did have so yesterday at work, um, they fed us kind of like a
Ooh,
Christmas kind of thing,
Spring Creek.
and I was thinking, turkey, stuffing, all that kind of stuff. Um, we had Dickie's barbecue, and I was already in line, so I was like, I'll try it and see. Free food is free food. I'm not going to complain about free food. Best food to me, is free. Um, but not sure which Dickies they had. I'd probably say somewhere there in Richardson. I would assume, um, or yeah, Richardson, Dallas area. I would probably would say. But they had the beans, which basically to me tasted kind of like bush beans. And then potato salad, coleslaw. Coleslaw, I'm not a fan of it. The potato salad was um, decent. Um, to me, if I don't eat the potato salad, I don't like it. But theirs was decent, which I did finish it. Um, the sausage, which was good, but wasn't overwhelming. I would probably say maybe like a 6 out of 1 out of 10. I would give it a 6. Their best thing that they had that they served us was the chicken. That chicken was really good. The brisket was okay. Wasn't to die for, um, but kind of that franchise quality barbecue that you would think you would get at a Dickie's, Spring Creek barbecue. Those type of franchises. That's kind of the typical brisket that you would got. Um, like I said, overall, I mean everything was good, but it was free, so I'm not gonna really complain too much because I didn't spend anything. Uh,
True
so
that.
no, that's what I tell you. But I mean, it's not definitely I wouldn't say top 10, top 15 barbecue joints in the DFW area, but I mean I'm not gonna complain about it. I mean I could, but hey, if I finished it, that if I'd have thrown it away, then that'd have been telling.
Correct. But it's hard to compete. Like there's people out there that love Spring Creek barbecue, that love Dickies, will vouch for it, will go to bat for it. But to me, it's hard when you have your mom and pop shops, your Terry Blacks,
Mm,
your Franklins, your, Danes, and I forget the other one that's big in Fort Worth, or even any one of them, these mom and pop ones that do it, and they're out there, even like Pit Pals Barbecue, where there's just guys out there doing it to go to something that they put a little bit more love, a little bit more passion, they care a little bit more about it than an actual chain barbecue joint will. Um, I think there's just a difference, and they cook it probably exactly the same, but I feel the difference because they are putting that extra little love, that extra little care that these big old chains won't do or don't have to do because they're already making their money on it. So that's what I feel, and that's why I think I tend to go for that mom and pop spot
yeah,
or homemade barbecue when I'm able to get it.
yeah, yeah,
Sound
definitely,
like
yeah,
Jerry
for
there
sure.
stuttering,
Um,
but
yeah, there is a big difference between mom and pops or kind of those small business ones versus the franchise ones. The franchise ones, they're not really kind of putting that much care, like you said. Um, they're not using most of their own seasonings. They're kind of just telling someone, hey, this is what we need. They're getting everything shipped to them. Versus someone like Terry Blacks, Danes, Pet Pals. The list goes on and on, right? Um, where they're doing is they're making their own rubs. They're taking the time to see what meat selection they like. They're the sauce, everything. They're putting all that extra care, all that love into it. Sometimes you can taste that, even though you can't physically taste that. You get that sense that they put that care and love into it. So you do kind
Correct.
of taste the difference. Uh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there is totally a big difference in those two. Yeah. Um, let's see, and then of course, so speaking of the barbecue broker, I know you brought him up earlier. He did ask a question. Um,
Oh,
he asked a question on YouTube, kind of our opinion on do we prefer brining a chicken or not, or do we not think it needs to? Um, my opinion, like I told him, is I do enjoy brining the chicken or turkey because I think it does add more flavor to it. You can impart so many different things, and it does help give it more moisture on there. Um, Certainly, so if I have time, I would prefer to brine. If I'm cooking a lot of chickens or stuff like that, maybe the catering order and I just have to pull them apart. Then I'm just going to smoke them and just cook them to the right temperature. I think if you cook it without brining it to that perfect 160, 165 temperature, and letting it rest, you're going to maintain all that moisture in it. Uh, Now, if like I said, if you want to impart those more flavors, certainly brine it, which is nothing wrong with it. I know if you have certain people, they say you don't need to. Keep it simple. Just cook it to the right temperature, and be done with it. But if you're ever cooking a chicken, you cook it to 165. It's still dry. Doesn't taste very good. It's bland. Try brining it and seeing, just parting different flavors, whether it's sugar, salt, garlic, onion, any different things that you can throw in there. You can impart so many different flavors. That's my opinion on it. You got something to add? Any kind of opinion on it?
you could. I mean, when it comes definitely for turkeys, that's the biggest thing you hear: brine or turkey, brine or turkey. Chicken for sure, but in brining it, you can also do what people is now going around saying is the dry brine. Is put your rubs on there, put your salt, put whatever seasonings and all that you're going to do. Set it back in the refrigerator for a couple hours, and let it just kind of sit there and let it sweat and soak into the chicken so that you get that flavor throughout the thing. You can do it with steaks. You can do it. I did it with ribs today. We'll see how they come out here in a little bit. But it's just that's what you can do as well. So, I don't, I mean, if you're not having success with chicken, then do it.
Yeah,
I know people
just
that
try something else.
will season it as it's on the grill. They won't pre-season it. As they put the bottom, then they season, and then they'll flip it at a certain point, season that side. So, um, I always like to prep it, season it before, so that way when it gets to the grill, I really don't have to season it anymore. Just kind of let it do its thing and
Yep.
go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Season it before. Like with chicken breasts, you can definitely season them, put them in a bag, and kind of just letting them marinate. Um, Certainly, you can probably do the same thing with a whole chicken. You do have to kind of get it under the skin in order to kind of impart some flavors in there. So definitely, we're doing like a chicken half. You can definitely do that. Pull the
Yep.
skin back, do it that way. Whole chicken, you just kind of have to, peel the skin up a little bit to kind of get it under. But it's not impossible. You can definitely do that,
Correct.
and you're just going to impart it. Yeah, more flavors. Um, and again, like we said, there's no rules. You can do whatever you want. Trying something that's not successful, try something else to see if you can get a better result.
I watched something today as I was curious on some things, and it was from I was watching Diva Q, world champion pit master. She's won the world championships before in various categories and all, big time in the barbecue competition thing. And she said it best: when it's at your house and your money, do it your way.
Yep.
Period.
It's true. It's
She's
true.
giving you ideas and tips, but she's like, if you don't like it, do it your way. If you want to wrap it, like I said, I'm trying something different, wrapping it in butcher paper as opposed to ribs instead of foil, which, that's the big thing. Wrap it in foil, wrap it in foil. I'm trying it different. Let's try something from there. But if you're paying for it, you're paying for the meat. Hey, you do it your way. This is how I do chicken. My family loves it. Go for it. It's kind of the reasons why I haven't said, like Chelsea's dad makes chicken a certain way. Am I a big fan of it? Not really. It's good, but I think it could be better. But everybody else loves it and likes it. I didn't pay for the chicken, and he's not asking for my opinion on it, so I'm not going to give it to him. The day he does, then a day I got my guns ready to go. But
I'm gonna bring out my notepad.
Hang on one second. I'm glad you asked. But and he even admits like, hey, he likes to do it a little low and slow on the grill. He didn't the last time he cooked it was on a propane, and when you're used to charcoal and you go to propane, there is a difference. There is a learning curve, a cooking curve, I should say. But yeah, so like I said, do it your way, and that's what we said. There's no right or wrong way, and people that want to say do it this way, if you don't do it this way, you're doing it wrong. Then they don't know what they're talking about. Because if your family eats it, you're good.
Yeah, that is
Boom.
for sure. Any other barbecue things that you want to ask before we dive into that holiday segment?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. It is getting closer to Christmas. I think when this comes out, you'll be about a week or so away. If you're still looking for that idea, for that special someone, hit us up. We'll give you some ideas, give you some cooking things. If you're looking to try our rubs and sausage and you're afraid, hey, they may not get to you in time and you're local, hey, we may be able to arrange where we meet up with you for there and get it to you sooner. If you're out of state or something and you want to try it, hit us up, ask. We can see what we can do about trying to get it to you before Christmas. UPS is the postal service is crazy, so you may not, but maybe we can, like I said, maybe something can be arranged to help you out. So let us know any questions or anything you're
I just
looking
want to
for.
let you
That
know
special
I'm
someone.
not saying all that. He's saying that.
I'm saying all that. I will help you.
That's not going to
But like I said, now
guarantee
if you're in New York,
it.
if you're in Oklahoma, you're close. Potentially, if you're in Louisiana, that's a little bit further of a drive. If you're in New Mexico, that's way too far of a drive. Sorry, but maybe we meet halfway or something. To drop it off with
Again, that is
an
him
agreement or
saying
something.
that. That is Junior
It's
Salinas
me.
saying that, not Raina Salinas. Me, the only thing I can tell
He'll
you is
do it.
we will ship it. We can't guarantee that it's going to get to you before Christmas.
Correct. But
That is it.
you never know. We might throw
Yeah,
something in there for your trouble.
yeah, USPS, FedEx, UPS,
I think
DHL. Doesn't
today
matter.
was the
Who we're going to
deadline.
send it. I think
So
yesterday or today, the
it was
14th,
the deadline.
was the deadline
We'll
to
see.
ensure that it's going to get to you before Christmas. But even if it don't, you can have it for the new year. Uh, you could certainly should have it before New Year's Eve. If not before 2020, in 2023, you will have it. So
For
again,
sure. And don't
the
pay
only thing we
for
can do is just you can
don't
ship it.
do overnight shipping because they're still going to take forever and they're going to charge you through the roof. So that's my last tip of it. But like I said, if you're local and you're something, maybe we can help you out. Definitely hit us up. Don't be afraid to ask. The worst thing we're going to say is no, we can't do that. Sorry. Order it, and this is what we can. The worst we're going to say is no. But you won't know unless you ask, and that's my opinion on that. So definitely,
Yep.
let's get into it here. Our holiday traditions, another questions we have asked. I think you asked a certain question on TikTok. Did you get any? What was the question again?
The one response I got so far was that they wake up early as a family, they open up their presents, and then they prepare for a big meal. Certainly, I've seen that a lot. Is opening up presents Christmas Day. eating, big meal. I know a lot of people have done, their special for Christmas tradition is prime rib. I think with the Bustos, with Chris and them, it's ham. I believe he said that last year. Ham is their staple for their family. Not 100% sure of that. I know with us, we do everything on Christmas Eve. So Saturday we will do it. Um, and we'll eat whatever the menu is. We'll eat, open up presents, play a couple games or so, and then everyone disperses as families. And whatever they want to do Christmas Day, that is up to them. Um, yeah, that's the answer I got. Uh, what you get? Did you get any kind of responses?
We did. I asked the overall questions, traditions. I said, "What's your top 5 Christmas movies? What's your food traditions? What is it?" Um, and like I said, we've said ours is pretty much Christmas Eve. We have a new one with Eden. We'll do hers Christmas morning. Let her get up, and of course, have the presents from Santa. Let her open it. Let her have fun, and then that evening we'll go to her family's Christmas stuff, and they have more of the traditional thing. But I asked the question, and you were right. A lot of people said prime rib. Some Ed said standing rib roast. Mom said tamales or pasoli. Let's see. As I go through all of these, people gave a long list.
Believe it.
As well, one said usually it's of course ham and turkey, and it's very popular prime rib. We're just gonna have to try it, do it. Linda Bustos, Chris Bustos' mom said eating pan dulce and drinking Mexican hot chocolate there while
Yep.
watching a movie. So we'll get into the movies here in a second. And then Carl said steaks and fixings and buttermilk chest pie is his favorites there. And we will definitely see more coming in, I think, as the night goes on. But I would agree, let's eat that. Let's have some pie. Let's do have some sweets. Like I said, we usually play a game. This one we'll see about playing a game. We might be watching a game, is my hope and prayer that the game gets flexed so that I don't completely miss it.
Nope, you're gonna miss it. It's gonna be at 3 o'clock. Sorry for your loss.
It's,
It is at
I
three
have a feeling
o'clock.
it will be, but
I have a feeling
if
it's
we
about to be at 3
do,
o'clock.
if we do since we're doing the thing early, I could have my earpiece in, listening to the game while
Nope.
the turf's
I'm,
going.
I'm,
I'll be
I'm gonna
running the
call. I'm
sound
gonna
board.
call.
Nobody
Calling
pays
King and make
attention
sure
to
he has
me.
nothing on.
Nothing. No one pays attention to me.
I
Just
could
little
hear
old me
that.
in the
Oh,
corner.
God damn it, Mister
that will be
Salinas.
that will be tough to keep my mouth shut for
Yeah,
there. But
it'll probably be flexed. I I would say it'd be 100% flexed if the Bears somehow beat the Eagles. I guarantee you they're gonna be playing Sunday night or
oh yeah,
Saturday
if the
night.
Cowboys win,
They're going to
Eagles
be
lose this week, yes, I would 1,000%. I would
yeah,
put
because
money
it's
on
gonna be
that.
all attention on for the NFC East.
Then it would be the division and a first round bye on the line. So for sure. I think it could flex it anyways. That's my hope. But like I said, it's just a hope and a prayer. If not, hey, you've missed your fair share of Cowboy games this year. So
Yeah,
it
either
is what it
way,
is.
yeah, as long as they play on Saturday, I will be watching work on Sunday, Christmas Day. Um, which I'm not going to complain too much. Going to be getting double time on that anyway. Holiday pay plus work the regular time.
Ooh, I
Um,
forgot you would have to work.
yeah.
But let's
But
get into this topic. Top 5 Christmas movies. The one that just came in. Is it a Christmas movie? Yes or no?
yes, Die Hard is a
Cassie
Christmas
says
movie.
yes. The Christmas movie. I
Yes.
saw the commercial. There was a commercial that said if Die Hard's not a Christmas movie, then neither is Home Alone.
Well, according to Bruce Willis, it is not a Christmas movie. It's a Bruce Willis movie, but it really is a Bruce Willis Christmas movie. Um, I mean, the way I look at it, if it takes time at a Christmas party is Christmas. to me. Um, so to me, it's Die Hard as a Christmas movie. Because most of the time on every Christmas day that I remember, Die Hard somehow somewhere gets played, whether it be HBO, TNT somewhere. So it's somewhere someone plays it.
Correct,
You know,
correct.
now the biggest Christmas movies you obviously going to be Christmas Story. Uh, Now my top five Christmas movies in kind of
My
no
man.
particular order
Okay.
probably would be Christmas Story. Um, I can only watch it once. I'm not going to watch it all day. The Santa Claus probably one and two are both good. Third one not so much. But
Okay.
Tim Allen does kind of bring something to that day. Um, and then I was thinking, I hadn't seen it in a while. The Miracle on the 34th Street, the newer one.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, you hadn't seen that one in forever. Um,
Uh-huh.
and then probably Die Hard, and then Home
Okay.
Alone. Uh, Either one again, one or two.
You could
Um,
go before
you
we'll
can't
go
really
into
go
it.
wrong.
You can't go wrong with
Um,
Home
yeah,
Alone.
this
Uh,
probably I would say those probably be my top five.
Ed said it. Ed said it best when he comes to those. He put the Santa Claus series and the Home Alone series because there are series. You watch them both.
Yeah.
Um, he put Ed put Christmas Vacation 1, Elf 2, Santa Claus series 3, Home Alone series 4, and then the Grinch with Jim Carrey in it
Oh,
as
that's a
number
good one too.
5. That's a
Yeah.
great one. I would, that's a good one. Let's see. Uh, Ashley, Chris's girlfriend, said Christmas Vacation, the Four Christmases, Elf, Home Alone, Santa Claus movies, Bad Santa. That's kind of funny.
Right.
If Die Hard's one, then Bad Santa's definitely got to be one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she put Just Friends. She said that she did. There was too many. She had to list more than 5. So that's good. Certain people, like Richard said, he don't really have a favorite Christmas, but they love to go to the movies on Christmas Day to watch a new movie. So that's good. I would go with my top 5. I would agree with you. Christmas Story. I have to watch it. They have a new Christmas Story coming out that's way. It's got Ralphie in the
Oh yeah,
future.
where he comes
He's a
back.
dad. So I'm interested to kind of see that. But I would go Christmas Story, uh, Christmas Vacation for sure. Can't go wrong with the Griswolds on Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with you, Santa, with Ed too. Santa Claus, the series, the Home Alone series. Um, I think I would probably do the Grinch as well, the Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
because he plays that part really good. And I don't know if you saw the thing on it, but somebody came up to him one day and said, "Look, it's the Grinch. It's the Grinch." So play a joke on it, and he
Oh yeah,
turned
he
with
did the
that
face.
face,
Yeah,
did
I
it,
saw that.
and they
Yeah,
really
that
thought they
was no
go,
makeup.
that wasn't makeup, and he's like, "No, that was me." So that's definitely there. He can definitely play that part. So I think those would be. I mean, but you're right. Like Miracle on 34th Street's a good one. Die Hard is definitely a good
Yeah,
one.
the only one
Uh,
I don't really care for is the Elf.
I'm
I'm
not a
not a
huge
real
Elf fan
I'm not a
either.
big fan of it. No, it's not a bad movie. Um, I'm just not a fan of most of Will Ferrell's movies. He's a great actor. He's had some great movies for sure, but that one to me was just kind of over the top for me. It's
Correct.
not a must watch. I can get by without watching it. That's just me.
They were running a marathon on it. Chelsea kept turning it to it, and I would
Yeah.
leave the room. I would go into the office, and she's like, "Why do you keep leaving the room?" I was like, "I don't want to see Elf. I can only watch it once. You've had it playing for twice now, and I can't do it. I could get by watching it once, but it's not. If I could go without seeing it, which so far I have, knock on wood, I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
for sure, got to do the Christmas Story. Like I said, they'll be usually run a marathon
Yeah,
on one
they
of the
always
TV
run
days.
that. Yeah, from midnight 12:01 to
What would
midnight the
be
next day. Yeah,
what would be Dad's favorite Christmas movies? Would it be the Lifetime Network?
yeah. He's been watching
Yes, our
Lifetime
dad
Network.
watches the Lifetime Network. He's a
He's been
gut check.
watching that since before Thanksgiving. Let's just put
He's
it
been
that way.
watching it since he watches. What is it? Christmas in July. He watches all the Christmas stories.
And it's and I tell him every day it is the same movie, different actors, different plot, but it all end up in the same. Someone comes back home from work on vacation. They have to do something. They fall in love with somebody. They don't like him, and then at the end, oh my god, I love him. And it's the same movie. Come
How does that go again?
on, I'm not getting it. Y'all come on. It is yeah. It's the same movie.
Oh my God,
Um,
yeah. It is. It's the same thing. They fall in love, they fall out, they stay, and then they end up staying where they were
yeah, they
going
push him
or
away. They
whatever.
they run and
Yeah.
catch him on their before they leave on their flight. And yeah,
And the crazy thing is he's all about he could have seen it every year, the same one, and he will be just as excited every year that as if he's never seen it before. I don't know what it is, but he acts like even movies that he doesn't see that he's seen
yeah.
35,000 times. He acts like he's never seen it before.
Oh, so there was. Speaking of that, there was what movie was it? Um, Trouble with the Curve. There's a part of the movie where he cusses towards the end, and I don't remember the exact line, but it's somewhere towards the end of it. I'd have to
the
try to
one with
pull that clip for the
the one
next
with
one.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. Someone asked him something, and he just off the wall cusses, and it's just like a crazy cussing response. You don't wouldn't think that you hear it from him, but you hear it. And he's seen this movie 50 times. And the other day they were watching it, and that line pops up, and both him and mom go, "I have never heard him say that. What have you not been paying attention?" I don't remember
I have
what
to. Is it?
what it.
Is it where the guys on the field and the draftee strikes out from the guy that was selling peanuts?
I think
And I
so.
think he says that's what we call trouble with the curve
No,
jackass or
no.
no
Yeah,
or
something like that. Yeah, it could have been that. Uh, yeah, it was just a off the wall,
he does
crazy,
cuss
funny
somewhere in there.
response.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does cuss somewhere in there. I don't know exactly where, but it is a good movie.
it's,
Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but
I want to say it's towards the end. It may have been before that line. And you're just like you hear it, and you're just like it doesn't really register with it, but you hear it, and when they heard it,
that's
it's
awesome.
like they heard it. Oh my god! First time I've ever seen them. I'm like, oh my, he said it every time.
Like they say it all the time.
uh,
Yeah, they're he's crazy with it, for sure. The fact that he has his shows, he watches his shows, and he's stuck on them. But he's seen there's shows he's watched when he was a little kid. He acts like he's never seen it, and I
yeah,
watched this
yeah,
when I was this age. He watches it every year since he's like 15 years old or whatever,
yeah.
and he
Yeah, he still watches MASH every now and then. So yeah, he watches those
He,
shows.
if you make a movie and he likes it, he will guarantee you he will watch it 200 times, and every time he will find something new that he's never heard before. It is amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, very good.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, those are some good holiday traditions, some good movies. Uh, anything else holiday wise we want to dive into before we dive into sports?
Uh, Holiday wise, like I said, for me, I love giving. For me, a lot of people say it's about the giving. For me, I like to give my gifts. Don't get me wrong. Chelsea drives me crazy because she loves to give gifts. For sure. So she loves to give them, and she's getting a little sticker shock from something that's going on. I won't say it here, but hey, it is what it is at this point in the day. But like I said, you're out there, and like I said, give those gifts. Enjoy what you get. Like I said, I'm excited to see what I get come Christmas. I want to know. We in our family, we draw names, which has saved us a lot of money. We use Elster, so you can create your list, and then they can buy it directly from there, and boom, you're done. So there's no guessing. So that's kind of cool with that. So But other than that, I got nothing else. I mean, I'm excited. It's Christmas time. Um, Looking forward to that 4-day weekend. I'll be off Friday for Chelsea's birthday. She's on the 23rd. And then, of course, we're closed Monday in observance of Christmas, even though Christmas is on a Sunday. But you'll be at work, so it won't matter.
Yeah, I'll be I think we're getting holiday pay for Sunday, Monday,
Getting
and
that
week.
double time and a half.
Yep. So I'm not gonna be complaining. Uh, yeah,
Not when it comes to that
definitely not.
check.
Yeah, definitely not nothing to complain about. Uh, yeah, that is it. We'll dive
Let's
into around the pit. We'll talk about everything around the barbecue pit. Uh, this week, before we kind of get started, just want to give a rest in peace shout out to a great legend that we sports lost in Mike Leach. Definitely, you don't have to be a fan of Texas Tech. For us, we don't like Texas Tech, but he was a great coach. You never knew what he was going to say. He did get some great clips. So definitely the coaching world and the sports world is mourning his loss. So rest in peace, Mike Leach, and prayers to his family and everyone who knew him closely. Yeah, so definitely rest in peace. And of course, Cowboys played on Sunday. Uh, I didn't watch it, but I kind of knew what was going to happen. I had a feeling.
You were at work, weren't you?
I was at work. I was not really shocked when I come out and saw that they barely won. Um, you know, again, facing a team that just 4 hours away, you're gonna get their best shot. And again, just like Dak said, no matter who you play, they could be the worst team. Teams never won. They're gonna get the best effort, and the Cowboys don't put their best effort for 4 quarters. It's gonna be a close one, and I think that's what they saw. That's what you saw. 4 quarters.
I would agree. My biggest takeaway from the game, I will look at it, frustrated because, yeah, they're in it because of turnovers. The muffed punt turnover, the two interceptions they scored off of. Well, one interception they scored, the other one we were able to make a goal line stand. Why they didn't kick the field goal is beyond me. I would have kicked it. That way, if they were up by 6, if they score, all I have to do is get in the field goal range, and we can potentially win the game with some time that way. So that's just me. But they did. But my biggest takeaway, the 98-yard drive, 3:17 left, to go that far, make those throws, and he looked really good in that drive, Dak, that is. And I'm no by any means a Dak fan. I constantly say Dak is trash. Because you don't know what you're going to get. And I figured it was going to be a rough outing when he started the game off. When he starts the game on fire, usually it's the first 3 you can tell on, but lately it's been 5, 3 to 5 passes. If he's hitting them and he's hitting guys where they're supposed to in stride, leading them, it's gonna be a wrap.
Yep.
It's gonna be a wrap. But when he's not hitting that pass, when it's off, it's behind him, it's high. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a rough game, and you got to get ready for that. My biggest issue, though, is it's funny because last week we destroyed the Colts, and we were the number 1 team favored to win the Super Bowl. Now we struggle against the Texans, and now we're the 4th to get it. So it's a week-by-week league. But why is it okay? Why is it bad when the Cowboys struggle? That it's a crime. It's a travesty. But when the Eagles struggle to beat a team, they're consistent. They way to persevere, way to fight through a bad game and win. Why can't the Cowboys get credit for winning an ugly game? A win is a win. And that was my thing. I was posting on Twitter, on Facebook, on TikTok. A win is a win. Yep. Yes, it was ugly, but we won the game. The Eagles only beat them by 7 or 8. We beat them by 4. They only beat the Colts by 1. They barely beat the Vikings. We destroyed the Vikings. We destroyed the Colts. People want to say, well, the Cowboys were only up by 2 against the Colts in the 3rd quarter. Last time, I agree with Michael Irvin on it. Last time I checked, it was a 4-quarter ball game. We didn't stop playing at the third. Even if we would have won by 2 points, and still we beat the Colts by more points than the Eagles did. And the Eagles had to have a last second drive. If he stopped on that, the Eagles lose. Period. There's no time for them to get the ball back or nothing. So I don't get it. Defense does need to kind of get that run in order, get the run in check. But we'll see. I will see.
Yeah. Well,
What's your
it
take
is.
on the college football playoff, though? After you say
Uh,
that,
yeah. So it is mainly it's the Cowboys, so they got to kind of bash the Cowboys a little bit. You can't be. Well, that was a great game. Fourth quarter drive by Dak. When I come out from my lunch and looked at the score and looked at the stats, the first thing I saw, I was like, okay, this was a long game. They didn't play very good. When I see Dak had 39 attempts and only completed 24, that's not what I want to see. And to see Zeke and Pollard only have 25 carries, combined, that's not a recipe to consistently be winning. Take a look at the Eagles, the Chiefs, um, the Bills. When they're consistently blowing teams out, they're consistent with the run game. They're consistent with the passing game. You know what they're going to expect. You know what you're going to get. Hey, if the Eagles are running 40 times a game, chances are they're probably going to win the game. If we're having to force them to run 20 times a game, chances are you have a very good shot at winning. Same thing with the Cowboys. If you limit the times that Cowboys are running the game, you have a very good chance of beating the Cowboys. And Kellen Moore has to realize that if you get Zeke and Pollard going early, that's a long game defensively. It opens up everything that Dak can do, and takes off the pressure off of Dak. You put more pressure on him for the first three quarters. It's kind of hard. Fourth quarter, Dak is like I've said before. Fourth quarter Dak, I'll pay him $40 million if you can give me that fourth quarter Dak for 4 quarters. But we're consistently not seeing that, and that's the knock on Dak. Now the same knock we get on Dak, you can get on a lot of other quarterbacks. But you know, we'll see what happens come playoff time. Now college football playoff time. I had a feeling TCU wasn't going to go out of there, but they should have dropped. They should have not been ranked third. They should have at least been fourth. Because, like Shannon Sharp said, why is it that every team that lost dropped in the polls except for one? When you had Alabama and Georgia get in, one of those teams lost, and that team that lost dropped. Every year, someone loses come championship week and they drop in the polls no matter what. Now, all of a sudden, you have three undefeated teams, and it's like, regardless of whether they win or lose, they should be in. So, why were you even playing that game? You should have said, hey, these three teams are in no matter what. We're just deciding on is USC going to get in or not.
correct.
Now, TCU got in. Um, I think they're going to get their butt whipped by Michigan, so it's not going to even matter. I think Michigan is just going to beat them so bad that people are, well, see, that's why they probably shouldn't have got in.
Do you think that they didn't drop them because they go, okay, if we put Ohio State at 3, we're going to have Ohio State, Michigan again, round 2. They're going to get TCU's going to get killed by Georgia. So then it's one of those two teams versus that. So did you think they went and said, well, we don't want them two to play again. We'll leave TCU there. We'll basically secure that Michigan's going to be in. And if somehow or another Ohio State beats Georgia, then we'll have Michigan, Ohio State, which some people say, which I think is the second greatest rivalry in college
Yeah,
football. Ohio State, Michigan as a national champion, which is great. Or they have the two top teams in Georgia and Michigan. So I
yeah.
think that's what they're playing as because
Either way,
I
you're
don't think
getting.
TCU is going to have Michigan plays D. In this whole, we're going to come back on you in the fourth quarter that the TCU loves to do, and they're not going to be able to do it. They're going to shut down, what is it, Dugan? Duggan,
Yeah, Max
and
Duggan.
you take him out of the game, you're done with them. You'll be done. And TCU got worn down defensively. Michigan's going to run the ball, pound it. They're an old school type of team. So, like I said, I like Michigan and I like Georgia and their national championship game. And
Yeah. Now,
we'll talk about that later.
yeah. Speaking of college football, so my question to you is, in your opinion, why has it been come in college football and in the NFL, where you have the Heisman Trophy winners or the trophy candidates, I should say, and the MVP candidates have now become to where if their team is considered one of the best. In college football, if your team is top five, top four, worst case top 10, your shot of being a Heisman Trophy candidate is pretty much 100%. Versus if you lose 2 or 3 games, you're done. You can be the best college football player out there, but you're done. Same thing with the NFL. If you have someone, got 2,000 yards rushing, um, but you have this quarterback who's led his team to, only 2 losses, that quarterback's probably more than likely is going to win MVP. So my question is to you, have you seen it go that way? And what's your opinion on
First of all, the my thoughts on those are, for whatever reason, the Heisman and the MVP races have all gone. They go towards quarterbacks. People were saying Bijan Robinson is a Heisman candidate. I was telling myself the only way he will be a Heisman candidate is if Texas is playing for the national championship. If they're in the playoffs, that's it. The minute they lose one game, he's done. I mean, he could have. I think even if he had Texas had the season they did, and he rushed for, let's say, some ridiculous, he rushed for 2,000 yards in these games. He averaged 150 yards plus a game, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. He wouldn't be up for the Heisman because he's not a quarterback for one. NFL is the same thing. It's a quarterback league. Right now, everybody's saying the favorite is Hurt, Jalen Hurt, because why? His team's 11-1 or 12-1, whatever they are, and that's the only reason. If he was to lose against the Bears and they lost against Dallas, he would go from MVP favorite to now maybe not even being in the race. Now they're giving it back to Mahomes, and Mahomes is winning. For when Josh Allen was undefeated, it was Josh Allen. As soon as Bill started losing, now it's not Josh. Whoever it is, they give it to whoever's like leading first place, and that's what they do it for. And I think it's BS too. I mean, why does it have to go to a quarterback? Why can't it go to somebody? Hey, they kept their team in it.
it?
I'm just using this as a complete example, but look at Goff and the Lions. Goff has come back and had a great season, and now the Lions are a hot team. But really, you may not want to play them come playoff time. Now, will he be in any?
They're
If they
not
were to
bad.
win out, get into the playoffs, he's not even going to be in the MVP race. No one will care about what he did because we'll look at his record. They snuck into the playoffs. And I don't know why they consider. You can't put winning with the best ever to be that thing. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the whole thing with Shannon and Skip Bayless getting into it. How you compare apples to oranges, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone's not like, that whole thing with Tom Brady's not playing good this year. And everybody's always going to go play for the 49ers next year. He's going to go play for this team next year. He's going to go play for that team next year. I think he's starting to see that maybe it's time for him to hang it up. Now, could he come back and play? More than likely, he probably could. Um, but yeah, some of those things that is just becoming, what your quarterback is doing lately. Yeah, if your team is the top, then yeah. Um, but the thing is with the NFL, um, if your quarterback wins MVP, more than likely you're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. Um, so I'm totally fine with the Eagles being number one seed. I'm totally fine with Jalen Hurts being the number, MVP. He can have it. The Cowboys will give it to him. I think what a lot of people now are seeing is, what if the Dallas Cowboys do have to go to Lincoln Financial Field, and they do have to make that one drive to go down there and secure the win. You're seeing Dak Prescott do it. He did it against what team was that? Where you drove it downfield to set up the field goal? Um, was it the Lions?
Yeah,
I
no,
think it
they
was the
blew the
Lions.
Lions out.
No, but there was
Uh,
like right before half, they drove it down the field like
they
50,
drove it
60
down
yards
to
to
get a
get a
field
field goal.
goal.
Then you had last week,
Uh,
he drove it 98 yards to win the game. So we're seeing him do that now as building his confidence, and we're seeing what the offense can do when they're on. Um, Now he just has to elevate his game, one or two games, to get us to the Super Bowl. You know, he can easily beat the 49ers with Brock Purdy at quarterback. Um, I'm not kind of worried about that. I'm not worried about Tom Brady and that offense because their offense is kind of, hit and miss. Um, our defense, I think, if they can put pressure on them, is good. Um, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens and where the Cowboys fall. I
correct.
think it's shaping up to where they're going to have to go to Tampa Bay and win. They're going to have to go to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia and win. Um, and then they may have to go back to Minnesota and win there. They may have to go to San Francisco and win. Um,
You never know.
it's going to be a tough road, but I'm still banking that the Cowboys have a shot. But yeah,
For
we'll see.
sure. I mean, it's funny though, and they figure it out. They struggled this game. I'm gonna give it that. They did struggle. They had a bad game, like I said, but they won an ugly bad game. Yes, it almost gave me a heart attack and all this other stuff, but um, when they figure it out, like Texas Longhorns figured it out, little too late in the season. Run, run, run. Let's set up the pass.
Yep.
They tried to do that in one drive, Randy. You missed it. All they did was run the ball and they were getting yardage. And they tried to run it too much when they got down there to the 1 yard line. They became too predictable.
Is
That's where
that
you get now you set it up. And that's when they couldn't get in there on 4th and 1. And they
yeah.
tried to run it and Zeke lost 2 yards because you were too predictable. And Chelsea was there, said if they run the ball, they're getting stopped. They need a play action pass, do a rollout. We've talked about it, blue in the face. And they should have done something there. Same thing with you can't get too predictable. When they figure it out, let's let Zeke run. Let's let Pollard run. Okay, Zeke's getting those tough yards. Let's run more Zeke. Okay, Pollard's breaking more. He's running a little bit better. They're too slow. Pollard's too fast for him. So let's run Pollard and let's let the run set up the pass. When they do that, they're dangerous and they're
yeah.
unstoppable. And
Yeah,
we've shown it in the past.
that
We can
drive
do that.
I did see that one on replay. That's the one where Diggs got the fumble and then there's little I'm gonna run back 20 yards and then come back and
Yeah.
shoot you guys. Yeah. That drive at the end when it failed that third and goal, that I thought was the perfect time to kind of have Dak fake the handoff and roll out and either throw it or run it. We hadn't seen that a whole lot. It's been when they get down to the goal line, it's hand it or we're just going to throw it to the tight ends. We're kind
Correct.
of Kellen Moore's kind of gotten predictable with that. Um, but yeah, we'll definitely we'll see. Hopefully he's just playing, possum and making it look like something. He's gonna have to
Hey,
elevate his coaching game when it comes playoff time if he
they
wants to
do.
get it.
It's a big, if we win against Jacksonville on Sunday, we're guaranteed a playoff spot, which is good. And then, that leaves a couple games with the Eagles, Washington, and then, of course, Tennessee. So it'll be Jacksonville, the Eagles, the Titans, and then, of course, the end of the season with the Commanders, which will probably end up losing that game because I'm figuring the Cowboys will give their starters a bye. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
they'll give him some rest.
Unless the division's on the line, then
Yeah,
division, then who knows from there. But we'll see. Like I said, it's been a difficult thing. You starting to trust that Dak can do it. But we'll see. Playoff time's it's a different animal, it's a different beast. I
It
think if
still
they can
could be
go on the
that soon.
road,
It
if they
still
can go on the
could be
road and
that
they play
soon.
Tampa Bay, and they beat Tampa Bay, I think that will give them all. They'll know, hey, we've beat Brady in the playoffs. They'll be on a
Be the
high,
first time
and
in
they'll
Brady's career
run.
that they beat him.
So, yeah, he's never
We'll
lost to
see.
Dallas, so that it scares me. But we'll see. We'll dive into it, of course, more as the playoffs come into. But let's wrap this segment up. What was your final thoughts and your small business shutout?
Excuse me. Wrap this segment up.
We'll wrap this podcast up. Sorry.
See? You don't think people. Uh, but on the real, um, yeah. So final thoughts again. No matter what you're cooking this holiday season for Christmas, or whatever holiday you are celebrating, um, definitely um, just enjoy cooking. Cook it to the right temperatures. Uh, Prep work. And again, if you don't know or have a question, be sure to ask. Whether it's on email, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the case may be, is ask it. And either we'll answer it. If you ask it on the video, someone will answer it. Sometimes you'll get some dumb responses. Weed those out and look for those ones that are actually giving interesting feedback or answering the question in a way that you think. My small business shout out was Blazing Bones and Barbecues. So be sure to check out blazingbones.com. He's got some amazing rubs down in Houston. Again, he is now at the Texan, which is like a Bucky's. The Texan, so definitely go by there if you're in those area. Come across one, stop in there, pick up some stuff, support that small business, keep him busy. And of course, if you want to give our stuff a try, just go to BigSalinasBarbecue.com, order rubs and sauces. We would definitely get those out in the mail for you. Hopefully, they would get to you in Christmas time, but if not, they will get to you before the new year. So but you can cook with love. You can set that meal on fire. And just remember, give our stuff a try. 'Cause you never know. Just may get hooked on big taste, big flavor, big Salinas.
That's it for sure. Like you said, you can't go wrong. Try to give that stuff a try. If you're in the neighborhood of the Texan and pick it up, let's definitely help out these small businesses, especially this time of year. Let's look after all of them. And of course, my small business shout out was shout out and event is for the Look Dine-In Cinemas of Dallas on Northwest Highway. That's 10110 Technology Boulevard East. They're doing a movie night for our brother slash ex-producer and Chris Bustos. They'll be showing Pulp Fiction. Money going towards him will go towards helping him out with his medical bills and bill as he is recovering from a serious infection. Lucky they were able to catch it in time. Definitely go check it out. It is Wednesday, December 21st. If you will have the link in below, or you will have it on my Facebook page on Junior Salinas. There's also another one going around, or like you said, we may just buy tickets, or we may just donate some money. You can buy the tickets or donate, whichever you would like to do. Any amount will be grateful, will be thanked for sure for that. Like I said, go check it out if you haven't watched Pulp Fiction on the big screen. Might be your perfect time to do it. Get away from the kiddos for a little bit. And definitely go check it out. Can't go wrong helping him out. He is family, so we will definitely be looking after him as well. So, and like I said, Randy said it, try our stuff. You may just get hooked. But when you're out there cooking, be safe, be smart, do it with love, do it with passion, and we will see you down the road.